Hey guys, the May 2016 Class Wars Finals ended not that long ago, and so of course I'm due for a tune overview, so I'll just go over what I think has changed over the last couple of months. I did miss doing a tune overview in April, and so I'm sort of long overdue to do this, but at the same time, I'm not really sure how much has really happened with the tune. So when you don't cash, and in particular when you don't recharge, and recharging gives you so much stuff now, I think just the act of recharging gets you so much better stuff than anything you could actually buy with Balins. So you get so much advanced henna, and you get a lot of chests and all this other stuff. And so yeah, recharging does the trick in this game, and of course that's what they want to encourage. But I haven't done really any recharging in the past probably more than a couple of months at this point, and so a lot of the big ticket stuff that gives a lot of BR has come to a halt. I haven't gotten enough advanced henna to warrant doing an advanced henna event. I probably have 6k or so, and so I'm waiting for about a little less than 15,000 is how much advanced henna I would want, and so right now the only thing that I've done to my tattoos is use some normal henna to change all of my tattoos over to intelligence minus charisma, and so I don't have any strength, defense, or endurance subtraction or addition to any of my tattoos. So that gives me a lot of attack, and it's been very good. I'm perfectly happy with my magical attack, until all of a sudden I see other players and I'm like, oh, I thought I was doing really well, and then you're like, oh wait, this person has like 750k or more magical attack, and that's pretty horrifying. So we definitely saw that in Class Wars this month. There, I won I think 6 out of 15 fights, and one of them was a bye in Class Wars this time around. So I'm definitely falling behind, and I think it would take quite a large recharge, probably at least 100k. Well, maybe I could get away with 90k. The difference between 100k and 90k balance is not that much once you start talking about hundreds of dollars. So it's one of the things. It would just take a lot of recharging, and I just don't have it in me to bother with that anymore. For those of you, sometimes I get questions they'll like, especially from other cashers, actually, of like, how are you just not recharging? One of my friends is genuinely surprised that I was able to just cut back as much as I did, because it's such a big thing for so many other cashers. They usually are going hard for a long time, and then they suddenly stop recharging. So even at the end of the line, they're still recharging a lot, and then they get very frustrated and they rage quit and all of that stuff. But for me, I've just sort of really tapered off, and what I do is basically on any day where I think today's gonna be the day that I'm going to recharge, and or recharge again, and then I basically just tell myself, oh, whatever, I'll do it later, and then I just don't recharge later in the day, and so time passes, and it becomes not worth it to recharge because the event is gone or whatever, and so then I have to wait at least a few more days before another opportunity arises, and then I do the same thing until I just don't end up recharging, and that's pretty much happened for over 2 months now. So anyway, that's my latest Wartune strategy. It's probably a minus for my tune, but definitely a positive or neutral for my wallet. But even so, the tune, I mean, I have the knighthood gear, so I didn't make that push once upon a time to get knighthood, and so I have been slowly working at the gear. I have the weapon and the armor now, done videos on those, and then hopefully pretty soon have enough for one of these jewels. Let me double check here. So I'm not that far away, and so I'm going to be doing a lot of multiplayer dungeons with Robin this weekend, I think, using a bunch of these crusades, because now I have enough that I can jam-pack them into one of these XP scrolls. So these are really fancy XP scrolls, and I bought a few, and so that's what we've been doing is, once we have enough crusades, trying to use one of these XP scrolls, and I can get, I think last time we got two skill points each, so that's at least like 7 or 8 levels, 7 or 8 knighthood levels. Now the XP cost now, so for my next level it's 540 million experience, so now we won't get as many if we use all those crusades, but it'll still be pretty good. So I'm looking forward to that. And otherwise, not much on the gear. The only item that I need to Holy Forge still is this artifact, and that goes really, really slow. It's been pretty slow getting stithies. I haven't done my weekly dungeons yet, so that's why I'm so low on stithies. Otherwise, so yeah, I guess we can go over the bags real quick off the bat. So pots and things, gear items, this is all mostly Sylph and some upgrade type stuff, mount related things. The only reason why I still have so many mount whips now is because the one time that I finally caved and used some of the Balins that I had been saving was to get I caught up on a lot of the clothing sets, and those were on Balins that I had been sitting on for this was very recent, so probably a couple months. And at the same time, there was an exchange for mount whips. And so if I'm going to spend Balins at this point, I'm going to do it over a time where I can exchange the chest for mount whips, because otherwise all of the exchanges really pretty much suck because they separate the clothing and the mount and the normal chests. So unless I can use the normal event chests to exchange for mount whips, I don't really try and do anything too fancy or push for a lot of items. I just end up saving my materials and using them at other times. And let's see here. Kids stuff. The kids, actually, I've been depleting a lot of these materials because of the U-Demon Patrol things, so that's not bad. I've upgraded quite a few of these. I probably could be more aggressive about it. I don't mind going ahead and setting these up. I've made 2 of each of the kids that are usable here, so I have 2 Scourge Mages that are have a few levels on them, and what else? So there is my other Scourge Mage, and then to meet the res reduction requirement, I put in one of my other high level Sylphs. Sorry, high level kids. And okay, I don't have one in here or here. Where are all my kids hiding? Okay, so I guess I'm not using a ton of them at the moment, but I do have 2 of each kid, which is basically what I maintain. And that's about it. And here the dimensions are so awful. I spent, I think, 1.5 billion gold the other day, and it just was, for how much gold I spent, it was absurd how few dimensions I got, and it probably took until the last 200 or 300 before I got any dark dimensions, and then I got 6 of them right at the end. So that's just random number generator and really, really bad rates overall. Just not nearly as much value in the gold that you put into it lately. And then I still, after 1.5 billion gold, I didn't get any of the expert wind dimensions. So that's been frustrating, to say the least. And then not much in my vault, some clothing pieces that dropped from opening up chests, but I don't have the full set, so I just sort of kept them as level 1 pieces in hope of, I don't know how I would complete those sets, but I don't know. It just somehow manages somewhere along the lines. And what else? But nothing too fancy. I've been meaning to do a video on this. You can open up these epic seals, and then not epic, but the 3rd tier sylphs. So the sophisticated sylphs, if you open up a seal for them and then you sacrifice them, you will get advanced sepulchrum back. And I've been meaning to do a video for somebody who's asked about that a long time ago, and I just never got to it because I didn't have any space in my sylph. So I used both pages of the space for my sylphs. So once I'm able to get rid of some of these sylphs because I'm done putting sepulchrum into them for the events, then I can start, then I can sacrifice those and then make some room to show those in a video. And otherwise, clothing, there's some stuff, but 180 nocturnal costume pieces are just, it's just a pain. They're worth very, very little. It's not going to get me an extra level, or it might get me like one extra level. But the pain of just going through 180 of these over and over and over again and individually engulfing them. They need like a bulk engulf where you can put a lot of pieces in and engulf all of them. But just individually doing that is such a pain in the ass that I just haven't bothered to do it. But let's see here. Battle protection was looking good for Class Wars, honestly. I mean, this is about as good as it's gonna get. So if I just sort of set up things the way I usually have them, which does not look like this. Okay, so this is, I have 3 of each resistance now, and so basically from my dimensions, my win res looking pretty good, and oh, the extra wind resistance is from my Sylph, and then water resistance is lowest because that's the only element that I didn't do a dimension for. So this week I was actually good about dimensions, but otherwise I've cut back a lot. So I try to keep up dimensions where I can. I'm, you know, sort of just managed to sneak them in there. And that drives me crazy. You have to claim the rewards so quickly or else you won't get them. But otherwise, I really just do anything for XP. So like my solo blitzes, my solo dungeon, solo blitzes, the catacomb type stuff, and my multiplayer dungeon and TOK. I don't even do Dragon Invasion every day anymore. So yeah, it's been slow going lately. I haven't had as much time to figure things out or play a lot of Wartune lately. And where else? I mean, Sylph's Iggy has gotten stronger. I did end up naming my Frigga after Andre Iguodala, so I'm not sure that like a 6'7", you know, Finals MVP NBA player, it really appreciates having, you know, having someone name that they're like fairy Sylph from a video game after them. But anyway, he's my favorite Golden State Warrior, so I decided to just go ahead and start naming my Sylphs after Warriors. If I ever make Odin, I think I'm gonna name my Odin after Curry, Stephen Curry, and then, you know, who knows who Thor is gonna be. Maybe Klay Thompson, or yeah, actually maybe Klay. And so the only, whenever I actually have like a spare moment to enjoy life, my life has pretty much been watching basketball playoffs right now. So that's pretty much all that's going on, is Insanity and basketball and a little bit of Wartune. So what else? A mailbox. I mean, I've shown you guys this in general. I have a lot of clothing pieces. Try and do like a full lowdown since I haven't done one of these in a while. Yeah, but basically I save too much crap. Too much stuff. My guild thinks it's ridiculous every single time I put all of that stuff back into mail. And what else? We're on a hot event change, so I don't have much in the way of event materials. But I think, I mean, that's most of it. Nothing has changed with my mounts. I've been maxed out on intel here for ages. Every time I look at the mount shop, I have tons of beast souls. I've had so many for such a long time because, you know, every time you recharge once upon a time, you know, I'd had almost all the mounts here before, so, you know, I didn't have anything to do with beast souls when they came out. There was maybe like a couple mounts that I didn't have, and so those have just grown over, you know, the past year or so. And the only mounts here that I haven't gotten are the Eagle Guardian and the Oriental Pangolin, and they just never show up, so I haven't been able to exchange for those yet. So really no progress there. Astrals, you know, this looks about the same. Archaeology, I don't really do much of that, so I'm still not very far along here. I know there are some people who are way past this. And otherwise, I don't think there's much to go over. My kids have stayed the same pretty much. The only BR increases happen when my stats increase. You know, I use the Oracle mostly. I've been really thinking about improving my Knight here because I sort of like what other people do with the Knights, and I think they would be a really good PvP idea for me. But I just keep on forgetting every single time there's a kit event to upgrade the skills and stuff. I keep on forgetting to work on my knight. So anyway, I should really enchant these. Do I have enough? No, I don't have enough of these blue crystalloids. I should try for them. I've been getting the red ones from bounty targets out of habit, but I should actually aim for some of these blue ones. And otherwise, I don't think there's much to it, you guys. So I mean, that's about as thorough as I can get, I think. I don't think there's much else. It does feel like there's like a lot of moving parts to Wartune now, but all of them are very cash focused. Like Artifact Roulette, I was so excited. I had, you know, the reason why I started using those Balins that I saved up, I had been saving them to see if the game actually did something crazy in Artifact Roulette, which is, you know, for like 4,000 or 5,000 Balins, put a level 10 Will Crystal into the limited packs here. And then when the actual thing rolled out, that didn't happen, which is probably the right choice on the game's part, since that was ridiculous. But anyway, I had been saving up my Balins thinking that that might happen because it was on the test server. And so yeah, so that just proves that things are completely different once they move from, or a lot of things end up different when they move from the test server to the real servers. Like the rewards here are very different, and definitely the items here. But I don't think any of this stuff is worth it. You can't use coupons, so I just don't think there's really any point to it. But yeah, I think that's about it, you guys. So thanks a bunch for watching, and I hope to get some more videos out. Hopefully by the time this one is out, I've actually put out a decent number of videos again. So hopefully, you know, May looks like a better month for Wartune videos from me. So take care, you guys, and have a very good day.